Pressure is building on Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy. The ruling Popular Party's former treasurer, Luis Bárcenas, who was jailed at the end of last month, appeared in court on Monday to answer questions on the slush fund scandal that has rocked the Spanish government. Opposition politicians and the general public have called for the Prime Minister to resign.
Todos los gobernantes políticos deben dar una serie de explicaciones al país y de estar a la altura de las circunstancias, porque el país ya no puede más. Tenemos más de 6 millones de desempleados, tenemos una fuga masiva de cerebros, tenemos un exceso de licenciados en las facultades que tienen que emigrar del país y eso ya no se puede aguantar más.
Estamos en una situación insostenible, una situación límite. Estamos bajo un gobierno que es un gobierno delincuente, apoyado por toda una estructura delictiva, que es un partido, y en consecuencia estamos ante un sistema corrupto que no da más de sí.
Mr. Bárcenas allegedly operated a slush fund that made illegal cash payments to senior party officials, including to Mr. Rajoy himself. Spanish paper El Mundo claims the Prime Minister sent supportive text messages to his party's disgraced former treasurer until 2 months after the corruption scandal broke. Mr. Rajoy denies the allegations and he has the support of the Popular Party.
El presidente del gobierno tiene el apoyo y además la confianza de todo su equipo, que todos hemos trabajado muchos años con él y sabemos de su honestidad en este punto y en todos, y de la rectitud con la que se ha comportado siempre al servicio del interés general.
The big worry for the Popular Party would be if Mr. Bárcenas could produce a piece of evidence that shows Mr. Rajoy may have broken the law. But they're not too afraid by the former treasurer's testimony just yet, and Mr. Rajoy remains reluctant to have any in-depth debate on the scandal in Parliament.
Well, this scandal has been rumbling on for almost 6 months now, and there's very little evidence that it has had any sort of real impact on the government. They've just sort of ploughed on with their program and have ignored all the controversy. And, of course, there's the testimony from the treasurer himself. But the problem is that he's making these allegations from a prison cell, which is never good for your credibility, and of course that he started out early in the year denying all allegations. So the PP is sort of relying on the fact that his statements, his testimony, his quality as a witness is really not that high.
Mr. Rajoy came into office promising to fix the Spanish economy, but the slush fund scandal comes as the country faces a second year of recession and record levels of unemployment.
They've pushed through a number of structural reforms. They've pushed through fierce cuts to the budget. They say that right now the economy is starting to turn. They say the recession will shown to have been over in the second half of this year. What this scandal has done, it has undermined the credibility of the government. It has undermined the sort of political strength of the government, drawn a lot of political capital from the government. And so this attempt to sort of change the conversation to say things are finally turning around, that kind of attempt is, of course, severely damaged by this scandal.
This scandal might not bring Mr. Rajoy down, but it will weaken the government's reputation, just as the Prime Minister is trying desperately to change the recession-hit country's image and to convince voters and foreign investors that Spain is on the right track. Daniel Garrahan, Financial Times.